Here for a visit. He's coming to check on his car. He's taking a little time off his Ferrari. He's working on it. Come on in, take a look at it.
I'll talk about Ferrari in a minute.
Talk about it.
Baby.
There you go.
Oh, the chrome looks better when it's in here. Oh.
You can take a look and see where I'm going, and then you can tell. Then you can tell me if you can manage with that.
Manage?
Yeah. Something like this. Well, I'm thinking manage. You go over where Jolene's at. You can. You can see there now. You can see I've got.
Manage.
Yeah. Go over to the other side and take a look at it. I'm just cleaning up right now. See how I've got this is your inside cell?
Yeah, yeah.
So your outside cell can connect onto it. And if you got too much, you can cut it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you did a pretty cool job on that inner fender.
Oh, we just kind of,
yeah.
I just kind of laid a piece of metal on that and capped it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't cut anything out or?
Yeah, no, that's kind of how you do it.
Well, it's not generally how we do it.
Well, yes, but you have to kind of weigh the
pros and cons.
The whole
project.
Like end results is this car will never be showroom restored, so why do that kind of effort right from the beginning?
Okay, good enough.
You know, like it may get on the road someday semi-restored, but it doesn't need to be like my idea underneath. No more painting. I spray undercoating.
Yeah.
No more painting anything. Just spray undercoating on it. You know, because that way when it gets bad, you pressure wash it and do it again. Yeah. But boy, you paint it.
See how you had your mount? You can open that door.
Yeah.
That was your mount. I cut them right off.
Oh yeah, got them out of the way.
Yeah, and then what I'll do is I put a plate there. We'll put a hole in the plate, and I bought this stuff here. I use this stuff, boat roller. Look, see that?
Okay, yeah.
That's just boat roller. Then
kind of like a hockey puck, but it's already got a hole in it.
And it's rubber.
Yeah.
But we'll cut that and we'll put that to length in there.
Yeah.
Underneath that, and then we'll bolt it. Put one underneath there, and bolt it. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm following you.
That one there, there's one back there. I cut it off, and I connected it with square tubing, and I connected it to the inside cell. Okay, so you've got. You still got 3 mounts on either side. These two ones are repaired. If you know, I'm going to cut this and drill a hole.
Oh no, this looks good.
Yeah, so that'll be on there. That'll be your hole for. That'll be your mount for there. Mount for there. I'll cut them, and then the floor we can just. I'm actually this right here. There's where your seat connects.
Yeah.
Right. So this is not. This is just a mount. That's just a mount. So now I'm going to run 2 pieces of square tubing across here. We'll put a piece of plate in it where you want to bolt your seat.
The seat holes will tell you on this side.
I've already cut them all. Okay.
Yeah, like this side, they're still there.
Okay.
Sort of. That'll give you a rough idea where it is.
Well, I'll just put a piece of plate in 6 inches long, so you got 6 inches move back and forth.
It's where these are broken off. If I would say there and there are 2 seat bolts. Those are 2 seat bolts.
Okay. Well,
and that's it. 2 there and 2 over there.
On the outside of the frame.
Those would be seat bolts.
They're on the outside of the frame then, is what
I would say, yes.
Okay.
Just.
Well, I plan on.
Technically.
You could just bolt it through the floor if you want to.
Yeah, and if any question, I can just put a plate of steel there to reinforce it at the time.
Yeah.
Wherever it happens to line
But I plan
up.
on running 2 pieces of square tubing where that is. I just cut that off.
Yeah.
And I'm going to connect 2 pieces across, come across here, connect to this. 2 pieces come across here to connect to this, and that's where your seat's at. So you have lots of bracing going on. Then it's just a flat floor from there, right? Just a flat floor.
By the looks of it, I believe the seat supports only by the frame part.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can add a piece in between.
The support in between wouldn't be near as important as you think, because I don't think the seat even supports here in the middle. I think the seat is self-sufficient. Yeah, I think it goes right to the frame here. By those.
What I'll do is
But it's been 20 years since I had the seat out, and I never looked at it before I came here.
I'll cross-member it.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. Fina! Fina! How you doing today?
Good.
That thing attack you?
No, he ran right past me.
I needed a break from the grease anyway.
We can get you paid off for that shear.
Okay.
Whoop whoop. And I'd also like to get some red flappy wheels if possible.
I got 2 boxes with me.
Okay, well, we might take one, or I'm not sure. This is Jim, and
Hi.
this is the man who sells me some stuff.
I've seen you on some of his videos, so I
Yeah.
sort of half feel like I know you, but
Yeah, a lot of people have come up to me that
Yeah.
way.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
That's right, that's good. It's kind of weird. So we've got yeah. So you're happy with that, are you, Jim?
Oh yeah, that's better than what you need it to do.
Oh, well, I should have backed off.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like
No,
the
no,
main
no.
thing here is for you to enjoy yourself, because if you're not enjoying yourself, you're not doing it right.
Okay, well, I got mad down underneath there because I scraped myself
Oh,
for a second.
yes.
I'm
I
just
stuck
joking.
a screwdriver through my thumb there yesterday trying to get the clips off the end of the
That's always feels nice.
drive shaft things.
Yeah.
the little
That would
clips.
fix a lot of people's sickness if they drove a screwdriver in the
Yeah,
finger there.
and it was a little screwdriver too, but boy, it did the grease. I didn't even, I better be careful. I'm going to drive that screwdriver right through my finger. Then I noticed all my black grease was turning red, and a steady stream was pouring off my thumb. I'd already got it.
Right on.
well, I had an adventure with an inner fender the other day. I was trying to cut the nut off the top of the shock of my truck, and I touched the grinding wheel against the plastic inner fender, and it melted and sprayed the back of my knuckles, and boy, was it hot.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's
You
what
know, those shocks, if you take like a cutting torch to blow off the nut, they can go straight through the ceiling. When, like, they can go kabang, and when the rubber gets like the heat will release it, and that nut can go right through plaster in the gyprock, like the ceiling. Like if it ever hit you in the face, it would be hurt. It would be bad.
Did you see what's going on here with the camera? Did you see what's going on? I'm just
Oh, yeah.
showing Jim how we got the inside sill running from the back into the front. And where it ends in the front is where your front fender bolts on.
You only have to run one brace and one brace, don't you? Not these double were only
For the
to make
mounts.
it for the mounts for the whole. You know,
I
to
can
make it
run
convenient.
one brace across or two braces across, whatever.
You know, like 1 and 1 would probably be
Maybe.
sufficient.
Where it's 3/4 inch square tubing and you get that big seat, I might just run 2 across. It's like
Okay.
it's only half, like, you know, I think it's 20 some inches, so it's not. It's a couple feet of square tubing, so I think I might use it. Just because, I mean, you're sitting on there, the big seat, and it's only 3/4
Well,
inch.
if I
but-
go off any big jumps.
Well, there you go. You'll need it. You obviously see. You should get a couple sills made up from 6 feet long that you can put on in one piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
At
that
a
way,
metal shop.
because when you try to add that on, it's awful hard to get that right, isn't it?
Straight. Yeah. Well, you can
Although you probably could.
Yes, I've done it. I usually make them in 4 feet lengths and do them
Yeah,
that
I
way.
know. Yeah.
But if we had one sill, we could run it right from the front all the way to the back, and then we could add a piece. If you know what I mean, you got
Yeah.
all this missing. If we had a nice sill all the way back, that would give it a playing field. to add a
Actually,
piece
if
to it.
you took a sheet of metal and put it in over the edge of like a door frame,
Yeah.
and just bent it,
Okay.
there's your sill. And then you cut it on a slant to accommodate this area here, all in the sill.
I want
And don't
the-
even have to add a piece to
I
it.
want the 90 underneath.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? When they get the 8-foot
You know,
brake.
it's hard to bend by hand. It's hard to bend 90-degree angles with a hammer
Well, I
and a door
imagine-
jamb because it curves. It doesn't go. It doesn't make a nice square bend like
I've
your press
I've done
does.
it before, and I agree with you 100%. I'd like to have a 90 bent on an 8-foot piece, and that
Yeah.
way you'd have a nice straight piece to go on that bottom over there.
If your bender was 6 feet long, it would be more convenient for sills on these old cars.
I know you can, but the shop is not there yet.
I know. I've got a 6-foot brake.
Have you?
Made
Well,
by
there.
Chicago. Yeah,
How much you asking for that?
3,000.
There you go. That counts me out.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
There you go. But anyways, that's what I've got going on, Jim. You're more than left.
Yeah.
Take a look. You're happy with it.
Well, I'll grab a couple things out of the
Okay, we'll take a box of them red discs, please, and thank you. You want me to go down and grab a check? Whereabouts? All right, I'll take the camera. Just gonna take the camera. Jim, tell me about your Ferrari. What's going on?
I'm ready to put the axles back in the car,
Yeah.
except for I just got to put the other half the grease in each end of the bearings.
Yeah.
I left it out at this time, but this morning I put the rubber boots on, and Ferrari has these clamps that you have to pull tight, then bend. And everybody on Ferrari chat line, like on the internet, said they're having troubles pulling on them and they can't get them tight. Anyway, I had this pair of kind of like a pipe style vice grip, a big handle like this, and I very carefully got the top and bottom snug. Then I reached in from front to back and pushed it in. Then I put the pliers on and I pulled extra tight and bent it, and I got them tight enough you can't turn the rubber.
Perfect.
So, and there's 8 of them. Anyway, I got that all done and cleaned up the hubs, and I took the axles apart and very carefully took them apart, and not to turn anything upside down, so it all went back in the same order, except for the balls were not dropped back into the axle in the same
The balls
order.
haven't dropped yet.
Well, when you take it apart, the balls fall out,
Yep.
6 of them.
Okay.
And I didn't put everything back in the same order because it's not really a bearing, it just rocks on it, right?
Yeah, okay.
But I took the center, the pieces, like the center cage was worn a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't flip it over, so it goes back in the exact same place, so the wear is still in the same spot. I didn't flip it over, wash it, and put it in wrong.
Okay.
But
There you go.
anyway, quite a little procedure in the washing and the cleaning and putting it together step by step.
So do you know how them sill pieces fit there? One piece is a sill and one piece is not a sill? All right. I didn't check myself. Really, I didn't check
I think they're identical, but
Okay.
yes. Tell you the
That
truth,
one's got a bend in it.
years ago I needed the metal. They were 6 feet long. I cut them off. I used the metal on
You needed
something
the
else.
metal, you cut 'em off.
Because, yeah.
That goes in there like yay,
yeah,
eh?
yeah.
And that'll go down in and connect on your bottom piece, hopefully.
Yep.
That'll have to be cut off a little bit. Geez, I might even put them on, you never know.
Well, considering the patch has to go up here, I would say,
Get a 6-footer.
no, I would say actually put them on
Yeah.
and then line them up and make your patch here. And
I can make that on the 4th, yeah.
you know, like those need to be kind of cleaned up, or if not, or not. But
Just kind of wondering.
personally, I would say put them on and make a patch for there. That's sort of the same idea. And eye it up, and if it's off a little bit, it's off.
Jim's allowing me to be off.
It's more important, honestly, it's more important that you enjoy, don't put yourself to any stress here, but if I'm sure you can get that straighter with your welding. Like my problem would be I could get it straight, and by the time I get it welded in, it would be crooked.
There you
But I'm pretty sure you can get it straight enough for this car.
go. Oh, I think I know.
But by rights, should be one piece, but it doesn't have to be. There's no rules here. This car does not have any rules. Matter of fact, this car is exactly the opposite of rules. This car, you can bend, you can do any damn thing you want. So I put them on. You don't even have to take the rust off them. Put them on and make a patch that kind of looks the same. Eyed up with a pipe. Yep, good enough. Welder on, good enough, because I'm liable to hit a rock or something and dent them anyway.
There you go. I might.
Somebody said you should put a roll cage in this thing.
Oh, can I build a roll cage?
I'm not as wild as I used to be. It would have been a good idea 30 years ago, but that's the problem I had with that Ferrari. At speed limit at 50 miles an hour, it idles in 4th gear at 1500, which puts a whoop, a drone noise from the motor.
Yeah.
It's lugging slightly, like a normal.
You'll have to have it in 1st gear.
Well, 1st gear is no, 1st gear is overkill. But what I'm really saying is you have to drive 45 miles an hour in 3rd or 60 miles an hour in 4th. You can't drive 50 miles an hour in 4th gear at 1500 because it bogs the motor.
Okay.
So,
Sounds like that song,
and
Drive 55.
in third gear, it's revving a little bit and uncomfortable. So you have to drive like 57 to 60 miles an hour, which puts you into the danger zone when it comes to the police. But it's not really a good idea to lug long-term driving. You don't drive a Ferrari and lug it. You're not supposed to idle them. You're supposed to have them up in revs. So it's better to drive 50 miles an hour in third gear at 2,500 than it is to lug it in fourth. And in fifth gear, it idles. Like, it just idles. Like, way too slow. Like,
You're going to write a check?
anyway,
Oh, keep it that way, did you?
like, I'm not after any kind of perfection here. You're way overkill on the quality here. So I would say weld the sills on, make a patch, put it in here, and eye it up, and if you get it off a little bit, right on.
Oh, well, we don't want to do overkill.
You know, but it's not worth. Don't spend the money or the effort to build new sills. Weld them on and make a patch. I'm pretty sure, even if you took a chunk of metal on the inside and tacked it out this far to put your patch on, wouldn't that kind of help hold it?
You could. I could butt them together. I could butt them together on the floor and run it and do it. I might use that one on the other side. This one here maybe, because the other side hasn't got a sill at all.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But it would be so nice just to have an 8 foot or whatever, 6 foot, run the whole length, one nice bend, plop it on the bottom of the inside sill, and then run her out and trace her all off and put it on.
I know.
You never know. See what happens, Jim. We'll see what happens.
Well,
we'll see how it happens.
I know how fast you can bend and build things, but the thing is, you don't have a brake to bend 6 foot, do you?
Me and Jolene know what to do. That back corner over there seen better days, hasn't it?
This isn't that the same as this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Piece of cake to fix, though, eh?
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
Well, especially where I was home. I just showed up and it's all done.
You like that? You gotta like that, huh? Put a little seam sealer on that. If you know what I'm saying, we'll get some seam sealer on that, like they did. You can see all the seams how they put it on.
Oh, I know.
We can do
cars when they make them brand new, they're full seam sealer.
Oh yes.
Overlap, spot weld it. Like they spot weld, of course, like this down through, like with their electric thing. But
even your door, you see your door, your back where your door shuts. Even your brace there got welded to your floor, so that's good now. Can you shake that quarter panel? Try to shake the quarter panel.
Oh yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah,
because it used to move.
She's tied down to the floor there. When you open her up, don't need to open the door. Just open straight up. Just pulls open, Jim.
Oh.
Remember?
Oh yeah.
See,
yeah, the hinge needs oil.
We've got the brace down there on the inside of the door, welded right to. Can't see it, but you can see it. See how it's welded down? It's come right around, Ishi.
This thing's in a lot better shape than that Hudson was when I started.
Are you serious?
Oh no, that Hudson was worse shape than that Studebaker out in my yard.
Oh wow.
It was a wreck. Like it never should have been fixed.
Wow.
But you know, if I was richer, I would have gave Doug $12,000 to take it. That's how much negative. That's how much trouble that Hudson caused me the last 5 years.
We'll have to mention that to Doug. Jim would have given Doug $12,000 to take it.
But anyway, I don't miss it.
That's good.
But it's a nice truck. It was too bad that I didn't have slightly better luck with it.
We're going to have a lip up there if you're going to do a window in that bad boy. You're going to have a lip of something going on up in there, and you're just going to jam it in there with half a lip.
Yeah, I know it's a little rough, isn't it?
Oh, she's a little bit of a lip there, not much. But
I know,
think
all everywhere.
Yeah.
I know, and that's where the roof liner's right down in there close too.
It's no problem. I'd stick it in anyways. Just put some seal around it, but just letting you know. You obviously know.
Well, that
anyways.
glass sealer, that glass rubber.
Urethane?
Yeah, that's pretty hard stuff.
Once you put her in there, you want to hope you don't have to take a bag off.
Doesn't need much of a flange for that stuff to be on both sides to stay there. So.
Yeah. We're just rocking and rolling on her, Jim.
Well.
I'll give this back to Jolene. Well, thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries.
You give me your email address and I'm sure I'll.
The way the patch works on your sill, where you got this part of the sill wrapping up into the door frame,
Yeah.
that puts a strain on the panel to hold it. And then when you add a piece on, it just goes up to the quarter panel and welds on without that tuck bend in around, which almost would make it go crooked on its own.
Yes. Jolene took off on us. She got me holding the camera. Huh? Nice of her, eh? Let's go slowly here. We'll go around the other side and just get a little bit more of what's going on.
Yeah, putting those exos in is quite a job.
Okay.
I had quite a job getting to snap them loose, the bolts.
Yeah.
Like I jigged up a bar very carefully between the wheel nuts to the floor with blocks of wood. And then in the one and only place where I could put a power bar with my Allen wrench lined up, I was able to line it up just right and then pull with all my might, went crack 4 times before the bolt would actually turn.
Wow.
But I had to readjust the metal bar on the blocks of wood to get the wrench to go in the one and only spot in underneath the control arms where I had leverage with the power bar. On every bolt. It took me like a day to take the arms off because every bolt was stuck right in there. Every bolt cracked 4 times before they broke loose.
That sounds to me like they were never taken out.
Never been taken out.
That's
They're
something.
torqued at 57 and they're Allen bolts.
Oh, that
Allen bolts, size 8 Allen bolt.
size 8.
Yeah, big, but Allen bolt, which means you got to be square on with the holes all cleaned out perfectly so that the wrench really fits tight, or you strip the head. You know what I mean? And then you can't get them out. You have to cut them off and then drill them out. And it's in, as I said, it's up in frame area. It's in a hard spot to get at.
I know exactly what you're talking about. This morning, I was talking about telling Jolene I got to keep putting them inside sills on before I put any floor panels on. What did I do? I stuck one piece of floor panel on. I couldn't get in that inside sill, so I had to go underneath there and.
Yeah, you got to do all your thinking here so that you can weld on top.
Yes.
Because you don't want to go in underneath and weld over the top of your head.
Right. So that's why I said I did the inside sill there because I didn't want to mess up anymore. I went and put that one piece on the back, and then it slowed me up. I had to get underneath and weld it. So that's why I put the rest of the inside sill on. That way there, when we know we put the floor panels on, we've got an inside sill with something to connect to. That's basically about it. So we'll just keep cruising on it. You're happy with the way I'm going, Jim?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Okay. Happy with the way I'm going?
Great.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Just squared it up with square tubing and
Yeah.
made metal go to it, and then we'll lay a flat floor on it, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. Didn't take it up anywheres. It didn't remove the floor. It's no different place than it was before. We're not up
and
too high.
if the seat happens to sit an inch or so lower than what it did originally, I probably would like it there anyway.
Oh, sounds good to me. When you were in that Ferrari, all we could see was the top of your head, couldn't it, baby? But yeah, we'll get this side over here done, and then we can lay a floor in it. Maybe I'll invite you over the day that we make the panels for the floor so we can put a couple beads in them. That way you can or Jolene can hold it. I need 2 people.
Right, and yes.
So
I've seen Jolene work with one hand with the camera before.
She's badass.
Yeah.
But that's what I'll do. I'll just frame that in and leave it. I'll frame this side in, and once I get exactly the same state as that side, then we'll put the panels in it. On this inside sill on this side, it runs up to the front, and there's no cap on it. What has to happen, if you ever take the fender off, that's when you cap it, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When your sill comes down and hits it,
Yeah.
there'll be like a little pocket there.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you cap it off. You always have that on the end of a car. Your end of your sill's capped off. But if you ever took your fender off, that's where it capped off. Also on that part, I ran it up far enough. If you want to bolt your fender to it now, you can.
Okay. Yes.
The fender's unbolted there in the front.
Yep.
It's rusted off, but if you ever wanted to bolt your fender to that inside sill, you can. It's long enough. On the back part, on this wheel well here.
Well, you're doing a good enough job. By the time I get the motor and the windshield in, I might pull the front bumper off and straighten it out in the fenders and get my gap back.
Yeah,
and
if you
stuff
want
like-
to, right? This part here, on this wheel well part, it was kind of rotted out where the back window was. So when I just made it, when I made the piece in there, I made it cover the holes. And then on the inside here, you're going to see, you come here for a sec. You can see how your inside, your inner fender here, see how it's rotted?
Yep.
That's going to have to go weld to this piece here. I shoved it down through long enough that you could weld, you can make an inside piece if you wanted to, and make that wheel well shaped right.
Yeah.
Close that off, because that's an inside, your quarter panel is going to be run down like this into this piece, right?
Yep.
Then that's going to be capped off.
Yep.
See what happens. See how far I get.
You go as far as you want.
Yeah. That's
Know
what I'll
I
do.
mean?
I'll get the floor all done.
You're under no obligation to do squat here or to finish it.
Okay.
So you do fill your boots as far as your heart's content. But if you get energy like, oh my God, I want to get back on the Bugatti or something, you just stick this out in the yard and get back to work on what's important to you.
Well, okay. Well, the main thing what I'll do is I'm just gonna make sure I'm gonna get the floor tight, get all the floor tight, get the wheel well tight on that side, get that back tight. I might pop the wheels off and do the wheel well part just to close that off. I might.
You don't have to.
I know.
Because
you already told me I'm allowed.
The fact that you got 95% of the structure done.
Yeah.
Like when you're done, like that part, I can finish off the ends when I have the brakes doing the brakes and stuff and getting the motor in. I can weld the little things in there. Like,
all right. We'll see.
You don't do any of the time-consuming fiddly stuff. Just do the major. Like, don't even worry about the flange around the windshield. Like, I'll accommodate something. Like, as I said, you're doing this to enjoy yourself. You're not doing this. I'm not paying you that much. I'm not paying you anything. So, I'm not really. No. All I'm saying is, you do whatever you want, but feel free to stop anytime you want and don't continue. Like, I can. I really appreciate anything you can do with the sills, because I know what they're like. They're horrible things to get just right.
Well, what I'll do is I'll just play along on the inside, and we'll see how far we get. Like you said, I'll do it until I'm happy.
The only thing I am saying is, and I'm sure you're going to agree, is don't fabricate the sills right in so that the fenders are welded to the sills, because the fenders might want to come off when I try to straighten out the front bumper a little bit. Know what I mean? And get that, don't weld the thing. Like some of your constructions, you weld the bodies all together, but the fenders will probably be unbolted when I take the bumper off and get the motor in, take the hood off, and I'll kind of straighten things up when I put it back together, at least to a certain degree. So the fenders aren't to be welded onto the sills, and the sills don't have to be complete in underneath. But if you can rough them out, that's like, as I said, yeah.
We're doing good then, baby. We're doing good.
Oh, you're like,
Tic-tac, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. I'm only trying to work on it when Jolene films. I did do a little bit more work on it when she stopped filming today, just because I just wanted to stick that inside in. I worked a little longer yesterday. I got an hour and some in, didn't I? I mean, hour and a half. See, I could another half hour. I could have done all that probably. You know what I mean? I probably should have stuck with it, but I didn't. So I just stuck that inside sill in, so I didn't forget. And actually put that piece in and screwed myself up for a minute. Like, girl, what am I doing that for?
like, the main thing I really want the car for is to hear the motor running. To drop the motor in and have it so it'll start up. And where I have like 6 acres of kind of a field, I'd like to have the field kind of plowed up in a rototiller way with a plate, so that the ground is soft and the grass is gone, but it's still level in kind of like a curvy type of road around.
That'd be fun.
And then I can drive and spin and go on and stuff. But I'm not going to be driving quite as erratic.
Maybe you should drive erratic in the dirt.
Well, I know what I'm like on a skidoo, so I know what I'm like driving the car. I just putt along and don't have any desire to do anything. But when I get on an old skidoo, it's wide open between trees and jumps and hill, or like snow drifts. I hit snow drifts and go way in the air. Like I had to be careful to make sure I know where I'm going when I can't see. Yeah, but that kind of thing. But
Would you like a drink of wine? It's Friday.
yeah.
Drink of wine?
Yeah. You think? Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. I can. Is it cold? I don't drink, but yeah. I didn't say I quit. I stopped.
I'll be right back.
I don't have a problem with it, except
right back, Jim.
for it wipes me out. I might stay. I might not be able to get home
Just give me
today.
a little sip.
I know. I drink a beer. There's not enough entertainment in the world for me to have two. Like that's kind of just like I'm like allergic to it. I can't, like it just knocks me right out, just like a teenager. Just like the first time I ever got drunk. That's how bad alcohol hits me. But I used to drink as much as I could, every day for forever. But I stopped drinking in '97. I didn't like the hangovers. I was getting bad hangovers. I was drinking as much as I could every day, plus work. And the hangovers were catching up to me because I was doing like acetaminophen with codeine and bennies all day at work.
Bennies?
Just go wide open, just work. And then I'd drink like a quart of whiskey and a 2-4 every night. And after a little while or a few years, it caught up to me and I just stopped. So I shouldn't have even survived it really. But, and yeah. No, he's doing a fantastic job. You're doing a good enough job. After I get the motor in that Studebaker over the wintertime, it's going to take me a while because I'm still working on the Ferrari, but after that I want I don't know. When I get it home, I'll take the hood off and get the motor out and put the other motor in.
That's good.
But I didn't say this car had a new wiring harness. It has a new wiring harness. Like the wires are in really good shape.
Jolene
Like
this last
you can
night.
burn them up if you want. I know where they're going. I can see them at the beginning and the
I
end.
don't want to burn them up.
It's only wires, but I know up underneath the dash and in around the motor, the wires are still good,
Cheers.
which is rare.
It's red, so it's not cold.
Oh, that tastes good. That tastes good. It tastes kind of like Fruit Loops. Fruit Loop juice.
Fruit juice?
Fruit
You'll
Loop.
think so. You get a bunch of that in.
No, it kind of tastes like Fruit Loops.
You'll turn into a Fruit Loop. You drink too much of it.
Yeah. Well, you didn't give me too much.
And if you want more, there's more there.
Okay. Well,
But it's going good. I knew, Jolene said you get
every step of those exos has overwhelmed me in, oh dear, look what I got ahead of me now. And then I just painstakingly tackle it with the kind of idea, I'm sure I can do it. I've watched the videos on YouTube, and sure enough, after I got started, it wasn't really quite as bad as I said, I'm kind of naturally talented with my hands, which really helps. My head is not experienced with anything, but my hands are talented. Like I can snap seized up bolts off, and I can use a hammer and straighten things out with my eyes closed, and success. But my thinking of something, when I have to think of several things and keep things in order, like wiring is terrible. I have to follow one wire at a
You're not
time.
thinking about wiring when you're trying to do exercise.
No, but what I'm saying is if I am doing wiring, that's where I'm maxed out. Like wiring really blows me away. But the Exos were challenging, but
That's why I like cars. I find them they're simple. Like there's simple things. Like they have sills. I mean, if it's rusty, you got to cut it out and replace it.
Well,
It's just a
you
matter of
said
making the piece.
couple years ago, I'm no mechanic when my Studebaker wouldn't start. You jumped from fabricating bodies to your engineering frames and drivetrain, but you still say, oh, not much of a mechanic.
Well, I'm not going to figure out your problems for you on the mechanic side.
No, but you're ahead of most of us.
Well, I can make a body.
Yeah, and you can make a body, or you can make the frame,
Yeah, I can make a
chassis.
frame, put it all together. Not saying it's perfect or whatever, but I can do it. Yes, I can. I probably can do the engine if I wanted to, but I'm sure there's enough people around that can help me. You know, I know how to put it in place and how to put it together. You know, basically put it together. But I know the difference between interference and non-interference. You know?
Well,
They're all interference.
yes, they are. At one in assembly, before the cams and the cranks are hooked together, timed right, they're interference.
There you go.
If you have a cam sitting in a flathead 6 and you go to put the crank in, don't tighten it down, don't drop it, don't turn it, don't do nothing. Look carefully, turn the cam a little bit, make sure nothing's going to hit, because say the ring gear on the cam that spins the oil pump will hit the lobe sticking out of, for say, number 3 cylinder for on the crank, and it won't do it any good. You know what I mean? To hit it and torque it down. So as I said, until the cam is timed with the crank, it is interference. The cam will go, the crank will come up and hit a lobe on the cam if it's not timed like that. Even way back in the 20s, there's still interference if they're not hooked together. And that's kind of the same, that's the role with every motor. When you have it apart, you've got to be careful when you put those two things in to make sure that they're roughly right, because if they're not, they're going to hit, and you can't turn the cam to get it right because it'll hit the crank. And then you turn the crank half a turn and the cam will turn, then you turn the crank back to make the cam turn another little bit to get it lined up right. Like, you have to be careful because it can hit, the lobes can hit the bumps on the crank if it's not hooked up. Like, but anyway, yeah, well, maybe it's funny how that works. Like, here I am going on about it, and next week probably you'll find you'll be someplace putting a cam and a crank in a 6-cylinder, and you'll remember what I said and watch out to make sure. Oh, that would have hit. Yes.
If not, I will learn.
Yeah.
By making the mistake. What do you think, baby? Jim seems to be happy with what's going on. As long as I'm having fun, I can continue to do whatever I want.
But
As long as I'm having fun, right?
But personally, I would say, yes, it would be nice to have the sills in one piece.
Well,
But
it'd just be nice to set them on and have that
I
quarter
know.
panel and then just slap these on. We'll see what
yeah.
happens.
But if you made a piece that fits like that and weld it on and sit it up and make it straight, that's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah. I understand that.
You know, because
I might even put them like I might even see that. This bottom. See, we got it quite a ways over. Can you see there, this bottom? See, it's
Yeah.
only like 1.5 inches. See how wide that is there?
Yeah.
1.5 inches. What I'm thinking we're gonna need like a. I might go in there 1 inch. It might be 1.5 inches. I'd measure that.
yeah,
That far away. See what we got going on here? See, we're about another inch. I want right about that far.
oh,
That distance there.
yep. Oh, so that doesn't go in far enough.
Well, not really. See, we need another inch. That's what I'm thinking. We need another inch once that's.
They probably had a double wall there. Another wall went down. That one bent over to meet the other one.
They could have, but I'll do
Yeah.
whatever I think I need to. I will, Jim. I'll do whatever I need to. Me and Jolene love going to. She's looking in your cup, see if there's any stories in there.
What would happen if you took a piece of this stuff that's a little bigger and welded it across? That would be, well, that's a little overkill maybe, but it would hold the sill strong.
It most certainly would.
You know, like if you had a piece of that was 1.5 inches wide by 3/4. Or actually
2.5 inches.
2.5, and you got it 1.5. One of those would almost do in there for your spacer.
Oh, I know what you're saying now. Once that gets capped, once that outside sill gets capped with that inside sill, and the top gets capped, it's pretty strong.
I know.
You'd have to rip that inside sill. You'd have to rip that
Yep.
apart for that car to
Yep.
bend.
Yep.
And that's,
And it's on the up and down flange too.
yeah. So we'll see. Me and Jolie might even go for a
Well-
drive, maybe later on today.
Oh, what you're thinking, if you had these made 6 feet long, you would have that bottom flange made an inch wider.
Well, I just make it an inch wider and
Yeah.
tear it down and put my holes in it and spot it all the way along that bottom. See, just like a piece of, like, I just go along the bottom,
Yep.
spot it all along the bottom, then bring her up to the top and put it on. I just think it'd be a lot easier to have that 90 made.
They probably originally went down, then out this way, and then down again,
Yeah.
or something. Like they didn't go straight down where you went down. They went straight down. Yes. Yeah.
So we'll get something maybe two of the same, and we'll see what we can do to make them happen. Like, so you get a paintbrush on this thing.
Well, I want to put the flames back on it.
Well, that's good. Did you put the flames on to start with?
Yeah, in 1990, 1989. I had the car, I bought it in 88. In 89, I doodled and paint the flames on it. We tried to get it going, but we could never get going. It wouldn't start.
No, it's going good. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm enjoying putting the floor in this one because it can show how you can put a floor in a car, I didn't do much. All I did was square it up, square it
Yeah.
to me.
Well,
It
you're,
started.
it's like you said, I want to show people an easy way to give them an idea, not to be intimidated by putting in a floor, and you can do it any way you want. And that's kind of what this is about.
That's what this is about. Trying to put a
Yeah.
floor in the easiest way possible. And it's strong enough that it'll work. Like,
Yeah,
there's
and
nothing
it
wrong.
makes the car good enough that I'm actually inspired to drop the motor and finish it up a little bit.
Uh-oh. You're not rolling any funny stuff, are you?
No, I don't smoke as much of that as people think.
You're funny. You're funny.
I really don't.
There you go. Alrighty, cheers everybody. Jim's been in the house. Everything's okay. You heard him. He's inspired. He might do a little bit more on that after we're done. And that's how it goes. That's good. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to try to get on the other. Well, I'm going to get on the other side. I'm going to square that up. We'll do the exact same thing. I'm going to put that inside sill on first this time. I'm not going to mess with it at all. I'm going to run my cross members across after I put the inside sill on because it was a little.
You got to do it in order to make it easy.
Yeah, I got to do it more to make it easier than what I made it.
Yeah.
And now I had to cut that. Now when I put the inside sill on, I had to cut it for the cross members and
Yeah.
in and out. Before I just could have cut a 4-inch piece or 6-inch piece, slid it up there, welded on there, and then put my cross members on. And I think that's what we'll do next time. But we'll see you next time. Cheers.